Hi, it's Karen, the Weekend Craftaholic. Thanks for joining me. Now, I've collected quite a few Copics, as you can see here. They are my pride and joy. And what I've decided to do is swatch them. And I thought I would share the process with you because recently I created this little swatch booklet. Now, this was from Jennifer Maguire. She's had this around for years. And I recently, over Christmas, swatched all of my ink pads. And I've been looking for an alternative, an equivalent for Copics, because I have made such good use out of the ink one that I wanted one for the markers. The nearest thing I could find was this spreadsheet. Now I'll put all the links down below, so full credit to the lady that I found on Pinterest that shares this. And you can see she's clearly painstakingly typed out all of the numbers, all of the names. It spreads over something like 16 sheets of paper. And I'm going to bind them all with this little split ring, this book ring. As you can see, I've got quite a big one. I've put this video on fast forward just to speed it up a little, and I'm going to talk you through my process as you watch me begin to swatch these. Now, before I do, I'll just quickly show you what I've already been doing. If you're familiar with Copics, you'll be familiar with the hex chart from Sandy Olnuck. So you see here, I've actually got two of these. This one that I leave on my desk and another one that I keep in my craft planner. Now, if you saw my video yesterday, you'll know all about my craft inventory planner. But the other part of that planner or inventory is this other little sheet, which you can see. And this is the one that you get from Copic's website themselves. And it kind of creates it by colour family. So as I've got quite a few new Copics, I got it from a local lady actually. She was doing a de-stash, so I bought quite a few second-hand ones. Whilst I'm swatching them out for my swatch ring, I'm also going to just update the official Copic chart as well as the hex chart at the same time. Now, as you can see here, I am laying down each marker 3 times. So the first one, as you can see, is just a single impression. Second one is going over it twice, and you guessed it, the third one is going over that 3 times. And I started with the greys because I think these are quite good to demonstrate the difference of colours. You can see just with one marker you can get 3 shades of grey just by going over it multiple times. It's also going to help me decide which colour of Copics to get next, because although I'm not even halfway through the Copic collection, I've already realised I've bought markers that are so similar in colour. If I just went over it a couple of times, I'd probably achieve the same. So I'm going to use this rather than the hex chart or the Copic chart for any future markers that I buy, because as you can see here, it gives quite a wide range by reapplying that colour over the same area. Now, if you are going to try this as well, I've got a few top tips to share with you, because I spent probably about 8 hours in total on a Sunday last weekend going through this. Now, I will say, of course, I've probably got about 160 markers. So obviously, depending on the size of your collection is going to dictate how long it takes for you. So it's definitely something I'd have wished I'd have done sooner at the start of my collection, because it wouldn't have been so laborious going through this. But in saying that, I love swatching. It isn't a chore for me. I enjoy craft organisation just as much as I enjoy crafting. So it definitely wasn't a chore, but I definitely have some tips. The first one, of course, is with any swatching you do, always print it off on the paper that you're going to use. So, for example, I used the Nina cardstock for this. Now, I did try, there was a lot of waste, so I thought, you know what, I'll resize the spreadsheet and maximise it. But then I got all my lines out of whack. It ended up missing off some of the colours at the bottom. So again, a lot of wasted time trying to fix that, because when I got to the end of my swatching, I realised then I had some colours left, or markers left to swatch, that I just couldn't find on the sheets. So I also found a few of them were missing that I had to type myself and reprint an extra sheet. But in the main, most of them were great. There is the odd spelling mistake, so if you're a little bit OCD like me, you might want to check it before you print it, just to make sure that it does all match perfectly. I just, because of the time it was taking, I just used a whiteout pen and then rewrote it on myself. There is also quite a bit of waste with this. You can see the margin spaces on here. Definitely don't throw those away. They're going to be great for stamping sentiments, or if you've got little critters, die cut pieces. Even if you just have a stamped image that goes over it, you know, it would make quite a nice little border with a stamped image that goes over the edges. But definitely don't throw that away, because this cardstock is, you know, it's pretty expensive and you don't want to waste it and you want to make use of most of it. So I've kept all my strips separately as well, just in my drawer, so I'll reach for those before I reach for a new sheet. And the other part of it, you can see here, this was me absolutely finished, was cutting it all out. So that in itself probably took me a couple of hours. I'd started with my paper trimmer, then I decided to use scissors. Then, of course, I needed to punch a hole in all of this. So I did all of those in stages. I initially tried to do it sheet by sheet, and then I thought, no, I'm going to just mark them all out first, then cut them all out, then do the punching, and then I spread them all out on my coffee table and I put them in the order that I felt was appropriate, nearest colour. So some of the violets are mixed in with the pinks and the reds and the blue greens, blue violets, all that stuff. Didn't care about colour family. I put mine in order of similar colour. You can also save a bit of time as well. For the markers you've not yet got, you could just keep these little cards to one side. But I decided I was in the flow, so that second ring is actually full of swatched, ready to go. Those are all the markers I don't own, but I've got them ready for next time. New Copics now, I can just pick them off the ring, swatch them and add them to the other ring. When I've got my full collection though, my intention is to put all of these in the coin pocket holders, just like I have with the ink pads. But of course I don't want to do that just yet because I don't want the hassle of keep moving them along in the right colour order when I don't have all of the markers yet. And I'm just showing you here, now it's finished, just how easy it is now that I've got these colours to match it with my actual ink pads. So I'm just picking out a random marker colour and then I'm using the Jennifer Maguire ink swatch tabs to then just compare it and see, well, what have I got in the nearest colour if that's something I need to look for. This little box is where I keep all of my swatches, and this is where I'll keep the marker ones as well. So you can see I've got a mix here of the Distress Oxides, the Catherine Pooler Minis, just some random ones. They're all in here as well. This is what I was using before I put together the Jennifer Maguire one with the coin pages, as you can see. If you've been looking to swatch your Copics just like your ink pads, check out the links below. Definitely worthwhile, definitely set aside quite a bit of time. It is a labour of love. I'm going to keep mine hung up on this little pegboard at the side of my trolley, which I'm just about to show you, and then they're within easy reach. Definitely something I would recommend if you're new to Copics like me. It's definitely going to help me be familiar with all of those colours rather than constantly having to pull out a pen, have a look for it and see if it's the right one on my project. That's given you some ideas and inspiration. Any questions, please leave a comment down below. I do reply to each and every one of them. But other than that, thank you for watching and I will see you next time.